You get there or you want to?
No, I'm trying to come over here.
Hold on. We'll do it like this. It's my turn to sit down. All right. We're going to wait for a few people to get in here.
Good morning.
Manuel. Buena, Manuel. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos, mi hermano? All right. Hopefully we got a good answer. I'm going to wait for a few people to get in here. Good afternoon, Mark Phillips. How you doing, Midnight Rider? Paul Elmquist Jr. Good afternoon. Virgo, what's going on? Carlos Quintana, what up, bro? Watching from Colorado. Appreciate that, my man. Brownsville, Texas. That's what's up. What's going on, Tim? Lockdown. Willie. Nathan, good afternoon. What's up? We'll wait a few minutes, about a minute or two, and if I don't see anybody else coming in, then we'll just go ahead and. Can I come to find if I already have a CDL to be a trainer? Hey, Junior, can I come to find?
I think it means you need to come to Prime.
The Prime if I already have a CDL and be a trainer? Well, I think if you already have your CDL, they're gonna allow you to, you know, you're gonna have to come in here and you're gonna have to do a couple months and then become a trainer. They won't let you come straight into a trainer. Okay, Midnight Rider, man. Don't forget to put my name down as a referral. Driver code Maturo, my man. I would appreciate that. Driver code Maturo. I do play fantasy football. I haven't played in the last couple of years. This is just a shirt that I got me at a truck stop. It was $2. I can't beat that, right? I appreciate that, Midnight Rider. Oh yeah, and the group that I was in, I won too. I won first, second, and second. I did 3 years.
Good deal.
So yeah, it was good. All right, so a few things. Do you have your phone? Can you go back to that video? There's only one person to answer that question. Let me see who that was. Real quick, hey Richard, you still gotta call me, man. Let me know what happened. Did it go okay? Good? No? Yes? No? Maybe? Real quick, difference between sleeper berth and off duty. Sleeper berth, you're supposed to be behind the curtain sleeping. Hey Brick, how you doing?
I recommend that you should be a seller because it's easy.
If you're off duty, you're up front, up, and outside the truck. So to be politically correct, if you're up front, then you have to be off duty if you're not driving or outside the truck. Technically, you know what I mean?
That's the guy that answered it.
All right, so is the screen shaking, guys? Hey, Craig, what's going on? Or is that me? Hi, Cam, what's going on, my man? Is the screen shaky? Yeah, I might have to hit the power button on that game. All right, yeah, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn the AP off. Give me a second. Guilty 718, my man.
Sleeper bird.
Woo, man, it's gonna rain out here. Guilty 718 got on my live stream. It is about to rain, guys. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. He came in. Look out the clouds, got over there. Woo, man, guilty. Look what you're doing, my man. All right.
Guilty in charge.
So, the one person that answered the question and was a good answer was Heidi. Hi. Heidi space Hi. Heidi Hi. And she said, I'm gonna give this a go. I'm new myself. My guess would be to deadhead the 100 miles to the shipper and sleep there, bringing the time to 2:30 a.m., then taking a 10-hour break, bringing the time to 12:30 p.m. the following day, 500 miles to the delivery point and shutting down at the receiver, and that would bring the time to 11:30 p.m. I'm not sure if I can move the truck into a dock off duty or I can just switch the time to clocks like that. You can move the truck around the shipper and receiver off duty or sleeper, it doesn't matter. The one thing with that answer is he said he would drive to the shipper, which that took him 2 hours. But if you guys remember,
Our maximum clock has got 1 hour and 20 minutes.
yeah, he's only got an hour and 20 minutes left after he got to the receiver.
The right idea was to head towards the shipper, but we weren't going to make it, so what we're going to have to do is shut down right before we get there and take our 10-hour break.
All right, so let's see what Mike says that he would do in this situation. You know, remember, guys, he's bobtail and...
Not bobtail, deadhead. We got to...
No, you're bobtail. Remember, I put you in the situation, you're bobtail, so make sure you want to pick up the trailer, clean it, be ready to go, and, you know, go from there.
All right, so at the 12:15 mark, what I did was hooked up to an empty trailer and made sure it was clean. You know, kind of scope it out real quick, because that's kind of what we do, is we'll find a clean one rather than find the dirtiest one you can get.
All right, let me explain real quick. So if you're at a receiver, guys, and it's a drop and hook, scope around, look around, make sure you find the one that's cleanest. If it's not clean, make sure you got a broom. 2, make sure you got a blower. This is something that I started doing. Thank you to Highway Diamond Tiffany. She got me hooked on that. And prior to that, previous student and his brother got me hooked on that. Chris Davis. You know, he tried to get me on that. I wasn't really buying it. I was like, no. So, you know, it trickled down and it happened. So broom or that, because sometimes you don't have time to take it to a truck wash. Truck wash can vary between 20 to 30, 45 minutes. It all depends.
Well, the situation is that we're in the Northeast. Truck washes are going to be hard to come by. They're going to be far and few between.
Yes.
So getting this clean empty was the best bet, especially with our time crunch.
Yes, that is right. That is right. Or pick it up and just start driving, as long as you get it clean before you get to the shipper. So yeah.
All right, so by 12:30 I was able to get out of there and get on the road. I was able to make 80 miles before I ran out of time on my clock at 1:50 a.m. I took my 10-hour break and it brought me to 11:50.
So you stopped how far from the shipper?
Let's see. I needed to go 100 miles. I was 20 miles short of where I needed to be.
All right, so he stopped 20 miles short from the shipper. So yes, head to the shipper, run your clock out. If you remember, you got 30 hours left on your 70. So at this point, you're not worried about your hours. Okay? So he's 20 minutes away from the shipper, and you took your 10-hour break.
Right? And after my 10-hour break, I drove the 20 miles, which brought me to 12:10 p.m. And I was able to get loaded within 2 hours, which now it's at 2:10 p.m. And now I need to drive
All right, so
my 500 miles.
Explain this real quick. So you checked in at 12:30 p.m., right? Or what time?
At 12:10.
At 12:10 p.m. What is your clock looking like then? You're 11 and you're 14. What is it looking like then?
Oh. I've only burnt 20 minutes.
Yes, leaf
So
blower.
we're going to be good. We're going to be good on our 11, and our 14's only got the same thing, 20 minutes burnt off of it.
So you have 13 hours and 40 minutes on your 14 and 10 hours and 40 minutes on your 10. On your 11, right?
And all this is going with like perfect case scenario. We're not needing 40 minutes of standing
Hold
in
the
line.
power button on that. Just hit the stop and then hold the power button. All right, guys. So he stopped 20 minutes from the shipper. He got up. Pre-plan, yes. Pre-plan, people. Yes. Leaf blower, yes. So he stopped 20 minutes from the shipper. He started his clock. And when he got to the shipper, it was 12:30. And his clock at that point is, his 11's got 20 minutes down, and his 14's got 20 minutes down. So it took him 2 hours to get loaded.
which is normal. It's pretty average, 2 hours.
It's a live load.
Yeah, live load on our empty. All right, so now we need to. Now that we're done getting loaded, we're gonna go ahead and depart. What time are we departing at? Oh, 2:10.
So at 2:10 p.m. he's ready to go, and he's got 10 hours and 40 minutes on his clock. How much do we average on a 9.5 hour clock? Because if you're on my truck, we're only gonna run 9.5 hours.
9.5 hours usually end us around 550, 525. So I went ahead and just said that it was going to be 500 miles is going to be 9.5 hours.
All right, so he said 9.5. You have to think we're in the Northeast.
You got to have a little bit of traffic here and there.
Right, so we're going to
Toll
add...
booths everywhere.
We're going to add 30 minutes, so we'll say it took him 10 hours. So at this point, you have 10 hours and 40 minutes, and you know you can make it in 10 hours and 40 minutes, but it's going to take you 10 hours. So it took him 10 hours to get to the receiver.
All right, so what I needed to do was drive all the way to my 8 hours is up and take my break. My 8 hours is up at 10:10 p.m. At 10:40, my 30-minute break is over, and I was able to deliver.
Get to the receiver.
Get to the receiver at, what's this? Midnight.
10 minutes after midnight.
10 after midnight. I
So
arrived.
he arrived at 10 minutes after midnight. Now this is saying that the receiver has overnight parking. If the receiver doesn't have overnight parking, you have to consider that in the pre-plan. Remember, guys, you have to pre-plan, trip plan, everything, because where are you? Are you in the Northeast? There's the truck stops are, you know, far in between, like he was saying, just like the washouts. And you know, the Qualcomm will give you directions to the location and give you important information. Sometimes the load dispatch to you will give you important information. So it's important that you look at that. Guilty 718. I wish I had a trainer that went through hours of service like this. Junior's the man. I appreciate that, Guilty 718, man. Appreciate that, bro. Nehemiah, let me see. Justin Brown doesn't Western Spirit. Okay, can I request you to train me like your method? Charlie Reyes, you can request me to train you, but it all depends if I'm available at the current time that you decide to come in. So, going back to this. So, Haiti High and Steven had the same concept, which is good. Again, there was no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of what you would do and how you do it and when you do it. So, get to the shipper, run the clock out, because you want to get as close to the shipper, and if anything, do your 10-hour break at the shipper. So whenever you get loaded, if it takes in 5 hours, you're good. You already got a full clock. You know what I mean? So if it took them 5 hours, you got a full clock. You take it in 500 miles, no problem. But if you start your clock in the morning, if you were to start in the morning and drive the 2 hours, then that would take 2 hours. So that means you would only have 9 hours left on your 11. At that point, it's iffy if you're going to make it on time. So at that point, you have to start telling dispatch, you need to repower or push the appointment back. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that can happen, depending on what goes on the day. So what I wanted Mike to do is kind of give me an idea of what he would do, because again, hours of service is the bread and butter, meats and potatoes. It's what's going to make you or break it. You know what I mean? Make you the money, really.
It's also a very touchy subject.
It is
politics and religion.
It is because, you know,
there's so many different ways of doing this. It's unreal, but
yes, it is, and everybody does it different. You know, me personally, I would have done the same thing he did. Ran it over to the shipper and waited there, did my break, and then got up and finished it out. You know what I mean? That's the best way. You know, always be ready. Always be ready.
No, we weren't in California. We've been going in circles between Michigan and New York.
No, he was asking Guilty 718.
Oh, guilty.
Midnight Rider, that is correct, my man. It is very different. A car is different than riding a truck. All right, so conclusion to this, Mike's answer was a good answer. Heidi High was a good answer as well. Again, there's so many things that could come into play that could have an effect on how you play out your thing. But the concept was there, which is good. Anything you want to add to that? I know we talked about it. The washout would be something. Guys, have a broom or have a leaf blower. Or find one that's clean. But sometimes at these dropping hooks, where you drop the loaded, pick up an empty, maybe there's only one, and that one might be dirty. So if you don't have a broom or a leaf blower, you have to take it to a washout, and that's going to take time off your clock.
I was thinking if the Qualcomm accidentally fell out the door and was dragging behind the truck, then I could solve all my problems.
Yeah. That would solve a lot of problems for the moment. And the Icon 2020, I guess you can pull over to the median like Swift if you run out of hours. Never.
You don't want to do that.
That's a big no-no. Big no-no. And no matter what company you work
for. It's
for.
putting yourself and others at risk.
Yes.
And you don't want to put others at risk, period. Or yourself.
Right. So yeah, guys. Mike gave me an answer. I know the Icon. The Icon. I know it was a joke, but I'm just saying, man. So he gave the answer, and the reason I gave him that question or that little quiz, which I got another one I'm gonna give him, which is a more complex one. But what was it you said? It's if you overthink it, it can be tricky. But if you just kind of look at it and think about what you have to do and how it needs to be done, then it's not gonna be hard to figure it out. You know what I mean? Which he did. At first, he was overthinking. I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. He was trying to give me the answer. I said, well, bro, we'll wait for Sunday. And then he said, all right, I got to figure it out. And then one time I was driving and he went to the back, supposed to be sleeping, and he wrote it down, on a pad. And he said, Junior, I got to figure it out. So I said, all right, let me hear this. Then that's when he told me. I said, all right, that's good. And then we started talking in more details as to why or this, that. But, the thing is, he planned it out. You know what I mean, guys? It's all about trip planning and, knowing what you're going to do, where you're going, how you're going to do it. And when you tell dispatch, or whenever something goes down and it's not going to go as planned, you want to tell dispatch as soon as you can. You don't want to drive 400 miles and then get with dispatch and say you need a repower, meaning you're not going to make it with the time you have. You have to get somebody else to pick.
400 miles worth of fuel you just burned out of your truck. Your lease operator, you pay for that fuel.
Well, not so much.
You don't want to do that.
Not so much the burning the fuel, Mike, but it's about
burning time too.
The time where they could have gotten somebody to meet you halfway, as opposed to you drive the 400 miles, sit and wait, and have them scramble for another driver to pick it up. That's the thing. But if you know ahead of time, you let them know. And if dispatch, boy, you crazy, man. And if you tell dispatch, hey, I need a repower, or I'm not gonna make it, can you push the appointment back? You're throwing the ball on dispatch. It's on his court. And if dispatch says, go ahead and roll with it, we'll get you somebody to meet you halfway. Hey, you did your part. You already planned it. So now it's their job to find the other half of the work, So another thing too, dispatch will always throw loads at you. Dispatch is able to look at the hours that you have on duty, your 70 and everything from their computer. But dispatch does not have time to look at every driver's hours, you know what I mean? Hours of service. So it's your responsibility to plan it out and decide, yes, I want to take that load, or no, I'm not able to take that load. If you say yes, you're committing to it and you're saying that you are able to make it on time. If you say no, you're not able to make it, and dispatch comes back and says, go ahead and pick it up anyways, we'll get you repowered, we'll work it out. That's a different story. But you already planned it. You already told dispatch, look, man, I'm not able to do this. So yeah, guys, it takes two.
From what I've seen most of the time, too, if you tell them that you can't do it, they'll look into your hours and make sure that there's no way possible. Because they want to get that load delivered, too, because they have an obligation to the customers. So they'll work with you and help you out. I've seen it countless times. We walk in there, and they're walking drivers through their hours and helping them.
Right,
So
right.
they're very helpful as well.
Yep.
You're not just on your own completely.
Yep, that's right. And not every dispatcher will do that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Not every dispatcher will do that. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, the trainer's supposed to try to cover it. Supposed to cover it as much as he can or they can with the student. Tim Rogers is roadmaster at Good School in Tampa, Florida. I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to say much. That's all I'm going to say to that. If you've seen that, that's saying a lot. So yeah, not every trainer will work with you on the hours of service. Again, this is something that we chose to do it, or I do it with my students as much as I can. And the reason I said no Tim Rogers is because
Tampa, there's a Sage. I went to Sage and they did okay.
Well, the reason I said no Tim Rogers is because the money you're gonna pay, you're just gonna learn to get your license. You're not gonna learn the fundamentals of backing up and driving a truck. How do I know this? I had a student that came here from there, and he didn't know how to back up.
I think somebody told me from there that they worked on a simulator the entire time. That's nothing like a real thing. Not even close.
All right, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna give him another quiz. This one's gonna be a bigger, more complex question about the hours of service, and he's gonna have to use his noodle a little bit more. Hopefully, if he answers, that's good. But if not, then I'll help him out, and that's what I'm here for. And it's, like I said, guys, this is not a right or wrong answer. This is something so he can understand as to why things happen a certain way. Charlie Reyes, hands-on. That is correct. And the community college, you're going to pay up front. Over here at Prime, you don't pay anything up front. The only thing is you have to commit the 1 year to working for Prime. Alessandra Lennox, does Prime hire convicts? I got my license with all the endorsements.
Call the recruiting.
Call recruiting. Man, I got to...
You tell them what happened, they'll tell you what they can do.
In the description of the video, Nikki Yost is the recruiter that I deal with, that I talk with. Her information is on any of my videos. So look it up, give her a call. The link to the application is there. My driver code is there as well. Saludo, bro, desde Tampa, Florida. El Javi, ¿cómo está, mi hermano? I don't know, my man. Right now, we're headed to Maryland. So we're in Michigan. We are in Kalamazoo. I like that name, Kalamazoo. When I have some kids, I'm gonna name them Kalamazoo. No. Kalamazoo 1. Yes, recapping. We have covered. Actually, we're covering that now because we're actually
Where's my phone?
We've been recapping. But like last 2 weeks, we've been recapping ours last 2 weeks. Feliz Navidad, Mike. Really? I mean, I know I got a red shirt, but I think we're a little early for that. Rick Monadi, yes.
This? That's what recapping hours looks like.
Yeah, look at his 70.
Running on the empty.
That's his 70 hours right there.
We're learning all kinds of recapping hours.
Yes, we're actually doing recap now. We're doing recap so much that Prime has a school near Georgia Junior. No, they only have 3 terminals in Pittston, Pennsylvania, Springfield, Missouri, which is the main one, and Salt Lake City, Utah. We're doing recap so much right now that I'm gonna finish my clock. We're headed to the pickup location.
I'm looking for a movie to go watch.
We can't drive no more. He has... How many hours you got? Let me see. He has 3 hours and 34 minutes. Well, if he starts his clock then, he's going to sit until midnight. Is when he gains hours, because that's the recap. So what do? We start the clock at 9 p.m. Drive into midnight, and at midnight you gain all those hours. So you'll run your regular shift. And at midnight he's gaining 11 hours and 30 minutes. So we should be good. Can I still go through Nikki even though I'm getting harassed by another recruiter? Won't pull the trigger until mid-September. Charlie Reyes, yes. Call Nikki, my man. Let her know what's going on. Tell her you've been watching me and stuff, and then have him switch it over, man. Who is this other guy harassing you? I'll take care of him. Hey, Junior, what's up? Do you know if Prime has regional in the East Coast? Yes. Northeast regional. And if you do the Northeast regional, you get an extra 5 cents as a company driver. Nikki Yost. Her information is in the description of the videos, guys. On all my videos. Her phone number and everything. Tim Rogers. Let me see.
Put a comment on the saved video or message Junior at the live email address. Because after this live feed closes, none of these messages save.
Yes, that's the bad thing about this. So, Tim Rogers, my email is on the description below.
Honduras81 at live.com.
On this video and on the previous videos, and my email is Honduras81 at live.com. Shoot me your email. I'm going to try to get back to you as soon as I can. I got some emails I haven't been able to get to, man. We've been busy. As you guys can see, we're working off recaps. You know, we're running hard, my man.
Mississippi, we don't go through Mississippi often. We went through Mississippi one time, and
we were coming from
I
California.
remember the humidity being so high it fogged all the windows on the truck and the mirrors.
All right, Tim Rogers. Okay, guys, it's 26 minutes. It's a lot longer than I usually like to go. We're supposed to do a 30-minute break. I've already done a 43-minute break. So
time to get some food.
Yeah. Salt Lake, they getting up with the Mormon Mafia. I don't know, Kendra.
Salt Lake was beautiful.
Saludos, César, mi hermano, ¿cómo estamos? Aquí vamos a cerrar ahorita la entrevista aquí con el estudiante. Bueno, peace, Junior. Stay safe. Watch your speed. Always, my man. Watch your speed. Watch your mirrors and watch your trailer. Yes, sir. You know, that's something I always tell my students before I go to bed. And if I go to bed without saying that, I'll get up and say it.
Yeah. My head will pop out of the curtains and say, watch your speed, watch your trailer.
How do we stay clean? We take showers, baby. we
That's funny.
let me see.
Stand out here in the rain.
Let me show you guys. You know, we got rugs. You know, we take our shoes off up front, just like you see there. So anything behind the shifter, is clean. Like there's rugs back there and everything. So yeah, and we shower, man.
Yeah, free showers, pilot. You get fuel, they give you showers.
Thank you, Road Rash.
And guess what? As long as we're moving, this thing's gonna be needing fuel.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're out. We're done. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys were able to understand the answer. If not, please, loves? No. I beg to differ on that, Kendra. I'm sorry. So, if you didn't understand the answer, leave any comments below, and I'll try to get back to you guys.
Stinky shoes up front. Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one.